Hey everyone, Ben back from Living Survival, and today we're going to take a look at a great product from Cinder Summit. I've reviewed a bunch of products from them in the past, including their sleeping bags, which are definitely my favorite, probably my #1 favorite sleeping bags. They make them in all different temperature ranges, and today we're going to look at one of their down quilts, which is pretty similar to a sleeping bag. The main difference is that you don't have a bottom. You kind of tuck around the sides on a quilt, making it really handy for camping, obviously, lightweight for backpacking, hiking. You could use these on your bed, you could use them in a hammock, all different sorts of uses for the quilt. Now, generally with sleeping bags, you're compressing that bottom amount of insulation on your backside anyway, so you're really only gaining the insulation from whatever you're sleeping on, being a sleeping pad. Let's take a look at the details. I'd like to take a moment to thank our longtime channel sponsor, ProCamTech. I've been using ProCamTech products for years and know that when I need it, I have a dependable, weatherproof way to get my fires started quickly and easily. ProCamTech fire tinders are non-toxic, eco-friendly, and don't lose potency over time. They are simple to use and ultralight to pack, saving precious space in your kits. Check out the link below to grab any of their fire starting products, including Ultimate Fire Tinder, Fast Fire Stick, fire plugs, or their fire strip roll. If you want the most reliable, weatherproof fire tinder on the market, go prepared with ProCamTech. So today we're looking at this guy. It is a down quilt from Cinder Summit. This is their Cinder down quilt. It's a 50-degree quilt, making it perfect for those summer seasons when you just don't want to be hot. I sleep hot anyway. I was in the tent with my daughter the other night testing this out, and I was hot, and it got down to about 50-55 degrees, so you could definitely push this down, around 40 if you're a hot sleeper. This thing pairs really well with a sleeping mat, as I'm going to show you. It's got straps that you can use to connect to that. You can see how small it packs down. It comes with one of their Cinder Summit compression packs, 16.9 ounces, so just over a pound. Super small. You can even compress this even further by just tightening these straps, but super small. You can almost get this thing down to the size of like a Nalgene bottle. Not going to take up any room in your kit. Perfect, as I mentioned, for a hammock, which you use quilts anyway. It would work great for a top quilt. Perfect for those warm summer nights when you want to go light and fast. That's really the main thing that you're benefiting from a down quilt. You're going to have something that's really lightweight. You pair that with something like this Cinder Summit pad, and you've got a super packable sleep system. Now let's take a look at some of the details of the quilt. Now, Cinder Summit products are fantastic in my opinion, and starting right off at the cinch sack. These are really great because you don't have to force the bag into the cinch sack. A lot of products, they make the stuff sack so small that it just takes forever, hurts your fingers almost to pack that thing in here. Not the case with this. It's super easy. It's their extra small compressible cinch sack. So high quality cinch sack here. It also does come with a larger case to keep it in when you're at home. Since it is a down quilt, you will want to store this uncompressed. So as I'm stuffing this back down into the stuff sack, again, I mentioned that it has a big enough stuff sack, but you can see just how fluffy this thing gets. I've had some down quilts before that they're basically like a synthetic quilt when you're stuffing them in. There's no puffiness to them at all. But the down that they use is really high quality stuff, and you can see that it packs in really nicely. You don't have to struggle to get it in the stuff sack. Just cinch it on down here, and then you could just leave it like that, obviously. Or if you need a little bit more compression, you just throw the flap over the top and you can compress this right down. So once you pull this out of the stuff sack, you'll notice that it is tapered, so it's wider at the shoulders, and then as you go down towards the bottom, it sort of tapers off. And again, these have no back to them, so they are basically just a quilt. Again, something that's super lightweight, something that's super easy to pack, and it gives you that warmth. You can see that Cinder Summit down that they use is super high quality. They even give you a little certificate with it showing where the down came from. And you can see this thing is already puffing up quite big, and it was quite warm on a 50-degree night. But the special features here that you have on this quilt would be the materials. Very nice materials, ripstop nylon, 20D on the front and on the back. and then you have these straps that sort of go all the way down. They are cinch buckle style straps, and what's nice is that they just have them ran through these loops. So if you were going to use it just as a quilt, maybe you're going to use it in a hammock, for example, and you don't really need the straps, you can pop them right off so that they're not dangling, and maybe save an ounce or two that way. It is 750 ultra dry down, and it's all individually sewn baffle, so you're not going to get that separation of down that you do in the lower quality quilts. You'll also notice here that you have no head section, no hood and no zippers, so that saves on weight as well. One of the other great options on this particular quilt is that it has a drawstring for the foot box. So if you wanted to create yourself a little foot box, which I often do, I like to just keep my feet snuggled in there. I do like to roll over on my side, in shoulder sleep or side sleep, or even sometimes stomach sleep, and the wide top on this, the broad top, allows you to easily do that. You don't have to strap the straps all the way up the sleeping pad, but what this drawstring does is that you'll notice there is a strap on the bottom here, a strap, and then there's a button. There's also buttons that you can remove on the straps, again, to take them off or to move them around. But basically you can take this button here and you just button it to the, or snap it to the other side there, and then you just compress in or just cinch down the drawstring there. So what this does is when your pad is in there, it creates a little foot box for your feet. So it makes it so that it's not going to slide off the pad, which is really nice. And it just creates a nice little spot where the air isn't coming in the bottom. It's going to get you nice and warm. As for the rest of the quilt, it kind of just tucks under the pad so that you're kind of just tucked under. The wings sort of tuck under. And as I mentioned, you can do up all the straps all the way up to your chest if you wanted to, or you could just do the foot box like I usually do and then just fold in the corners. I am a hot sleeper, so I do like to have my arms out. I don't like to feel as restricted as I do sometimes in a sleeping bag, so I can just do up this foot box, slip it over the pad, and then I'm good to go. I have a super lightweight, super packable, and super high quality down quilt that I can use in those warmer months. A couple different configurations that you can do as well. Of course, you can just use it as a full-on quilt, use it in your bed, for example, and just leave it all the way wide open, use it as a quilt, use it that way. As I mentioned, you can do up the foot box and you can slip it over a pad, and then you can leave the straps open so that you kind of have open air to your shoulders. It'll allow you to move this down if it gets really hot, or you can snug yourself back up. If it gets cooler, you can strap the straps all the way up, and so that you have pretty much like a sleeping bag system. Again, when you're laying on the bottom of your sleeping bag, you're compressing that insulation, so it pretty much, other than keeping the heat in, the air in, it really doesn't offer you any extra warmth or padding for that matter. So you really don't need the back in those warmer months, and that's why I like to go with a quilt instead of a full-on sleeping bag. So that's really it. Just a super quick video today on this fantastic quilt from Sea to Summit. Again, I have Sea to Summit sleeping bags. Kristen has a Sea to Summit sleeping bag that we reviewed. We have pads from them. They just make excellent equipment, and I think it is right up there on the top of my list as far as camping gear goes. I really like their gear. I really like how durable it is. One other thing to mention is that this fabric is weatherproof. So I slept in the tent the other night with no fly on, so of course it wasn't going to rain, but in the morning we do get a lot of dew here in Michigan, so it did start to drip in the morning when that dew started to hit the top of the tent with no fly on it. And this thing did get wet but stayed ultra dry. It didn't go through, and it dries really quickly. You just set it, hang it over the tent, or just lay it out on the ground, and it's going to dry really quickly as well. So any specs that I forgot to mention will be on their website, and of course there will be links below. Guys, go check Sea to Summit out. They make great equipment, and I'll see you guys on the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video today, and give it a big thumbs up for me. Make sure you leave me a comment in the comment section below. There will of course be links to Sea to Summit where you guys can pick one of these up, or check out any of their other products, including their sleeping bags, their sleeping pads. They're even making new tents. We should get one of those to review here soon. Great products. Follow the link, check them out. Feel free to share this video with any friends or family on your social media that you might think would be interested in this video. And if you haven't already done so, please take a second and click that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of new videos.